Now, if you will, I'd like you to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to picture yourself in an empty room. Now, I want you to fill that room with everything that you own. Your clothing, your furniture, books, knickknacks, decor, art, accessories. And look around. How do you feel? Are you happy? Fulfilled? Now clear that room out. And in the same room, I want you to fill it with your friends, your family, memories, maybe even a picture or two. Look around. How do you feel? Are you happy? Fulfilled? You may open your eyes. It will not come as a surprise to you that Americans have a lot of stuff. The amount Americans spend on a single weekend is more than half of the total that they give to churches in an entire year, such as in 2014, Americans spent $57.4 billion on Black Friday weekend. But they gave $103 billion to churches over the entire year. Nearly 40% of all food in America goes to waste. In America, more money is spent on fashion accessories than college tuition. The amount spent on shoes, watches, and jewelry alone totals $100 billion. Nearly half of the world's toys are in America. Despite making up just 3% of the global population of children, American kids consume 40% of the toys. Homes in the United States have more TVs than people. On average, houses in the United States have 3 televisions. We love our stuff, or we think we do. In a recent trip down the Netflix rabbit hole, I found myself stumbling upon a woman named Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo is a tidying expert, best-selling author, and star of the Netflix show Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. On the show, Kondo goes into people's homes that request help getting organized. Now, unlike other shows such as Hoarders and the like, there's not trash and everything they own piled up in the house, but perhaps one person's clothing takes up 4 closets. One of the first things Kondo does is have them throw all of their clothing onto a pile on the floor. They pick each item up one by one and hold it next to their chest. She then asks her clients if that piece of clothing brings them joy. If it does, they say thank you to the piece of clothing and put it in the pile to go back into the closet. If they do not feel joy from that piece of clothing, they say goodbye and put it in a pile to go to the thrift store. Many people on the show and many people throughout life don't realize the amount of stuff they have until it is piled up in front of them. People see clothing with the tag still on it from 4 years ago, a 20-year-old t-shirt with 15 holes ripped in it, or a sweater from an in-law that they can't quite stand yet. Along with Kondo, there's been an up-and-coming surge of this concept called minimalism. Definitions vary, but the crux is that it's an attempt to push back on consumer buying culture and surround oneself with items and people that only bring them joy. The easiest place for most people to start is obviously the closet. That's where I started on my decluttering journey. Turns out I did not need 137 t-shirts. Now, most minimalists have around 15 items of clothing in which they can make upwards of 400 different outfit combinations. Minimalists tend to have one coffee mug, one set of silverware, and they only keep the current book that they're reading. The men at the start of this movement are Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, and they began living and exploring minimalism during a long depressive bout during their high-scale corporate jobs. They each found themselves buying cars and houses to impress their friends and family. They bought designer suits and the newest electronic gadgets, but they were never happy. They were miserable. They realized that they were buying everything that they were buying to impress or influence somebody else and never themselves. So what they did is they took everything that they owned and they put it into cardboard boxes and they labeled it. And for 1 year, when they needed an item, they opened the box and took it out, put it in the drawer and closed the box back up. At the end of the year, they donated everything that was still in a box. They went through every shirt, spatula, pair of scissors, book, and even hair products. At the end of the year, they donated everything, and now each of these men live on about 100 items each. To give you a better idea, the average American household has 30,000 items inside. I do not mean that there should be relief for others and pressure on you, but it is a question of fair balance between your present abundance and their need, so that their abundance may be for your need, in order that there may be fair balance. As it is written, the one who had much did not have too much, and the one who had little did not have too little. Paul wrote this in the Bible, but it very easily could have been written by Kondo or the minimalist this very day. Why do you have an abundance? Of whatever it may be, I know and I respect that we work hard for our things. We make an investment in them, and sometimes we don't come from much in the past, and it feels good to hold on to new things. But when I find myself sitting with my back against the door, waiting for an Amazon package every 2 to 3 business days, I know that there might be a problem. What if having less didn't mean not having enough? The one who had too little did not have too little. We're in a consumer epidemic. Everything in our media, to our clothing, our houses, our cars, our jewelries, and even our tablecloths are branded to us. And the guy making all the money at the top does not even care about us. Our phones are made to break. Our clothes are made to go out of style. Upgrades and updates constantly making us feel inferior to our neighbor. All in the name of trying to have enough. Having enough what? You don't need to feel bad if you have or do not have, but considering the joy and emotions attached to the things you do and will buy in the future. For if the eagerness is there, The gift is acceptable according to what one has, not according to what one does not have. If you would, please close your eyes. Imagine you're in an empty room. Now add to that room only the things that bring you joy and happiness. Look around. How do you feel?